What brings you to EMEX today?
Hi, I'm Andrew Bissell. I've come to EMEX by train, I want to say from Edinburgh, where our factory is. And we've come because we want to engage with commercial buildings at scale, also with industry at scale. Up until now, we've mainly been dealing with residential propositions. A lot of those are multi-residential, 100 apartments, 1,000 apartments. But it's time that we also did the proper full-scale commercial and industrial business. And we think we've got great solutions for that world.
What does the future hold for energy management?
So obviously energy management is going to move into an era when there's lots of variable renewable energy in the grid, in the electric grid. There's more and more disdain being poured on burning gas, and especially on burning oil. But gas is going to come in the same firing line very soon, if it's not there already. We saw that at COP26, and we're going to see a pressure which is going to be partly people are going to talk about hydrogen, but there's going to be a lot of talk about that, and actually it won't come through to heating. It might come through to process heat and industry, but it's not going to come through to heating buildings. So actually it's going to be connecting grids with lots of variable renewable electricity to heat demands, cooling demands in buildings. What do you need in the middle of that? You need some kind of storage. You need to be able to convert from electricity into cool or electricity into heat, store it in a big containerized heat store, and we have a product for that. It's called Central Bank. Or for cold, we call it permafrost. And those are going to be able to give you the cooling and the heat to go into the buildings, or to go onto district cooling and district heating networks. That's what we're all about. However, today, very excitingly, we're launching our Thermino products. Thermino is our brand for hot water. And we know that commercial buildings use lots of hot water as well. They use it in bathrooms and kitchens, they use it in food prep areas, and then in industry, of course, huge amounts of hot water used in food preparation, in all kinds of process. The Thermino range is for that. And that's very exciting that we're launching it here today at EMEX.
What's the one net zero measure or change that is having the greatest impact for your clients?
So I think, it's probably the real driver that a lot of clients are thinking about is, well, it's a range of things actually. It's things like, what are my scope 3 emissions? Yeah? A lot of people obviously very focused on the scope 1 and 2, but scope 3 is really hard. It's going to be things like, how do I do all this net zero transition and not bankrupt myself? And for us, of course, the solution, often, but not always, because we'll never recommend somebody to buy something they don't need, but it often looks like it has a big piece of thermal energy storage in the middle. And the big problem building owners may have, or building occupiers may have, is finding space for all that thermal energy storage, which is where our stuff comes in. So we employ the same kind of technology that's in this little hand warmer here. On the hand warmer, you click the disc and you get a reaction which basically converts that from a liquid where it's cold into a solid where it's hot. That's releasing heat. We use something similar in our heat batteries. What does that mean? Practically what it means is that we are about 1/4, and in some cases even 1/10 of the size of the same piece of equipment if you did it the conventional way. So for our customers, actually the thing that's most important to them is we save them a massive amount of space, we make it cost effective for them to decarbonize. It's a win-win. Simple.
How can your product be scaled up for commercial buildings?
Actually, there's lots of ways of scaling up. Our smallest products are little boxes. The smallest one would happily sit on my lap here and does a 70-litre hot water tank equivalent duty. You might deploy 100 of those into bathroom or food prep or tea prep areas. Or you might say, I want a big central device the size of a shipping container, 10 foot, 20 foot, 40 foot, which does 1 or 2 or 4 megawatt hours of thermal storage because I'm running some kind of thermal loop around my building. All of those are scale up into commercial buildings.
What are your thoughts on the outcomes of COP26?
In my view, we spent a lot of time at COP26. We engaged a lot. In our view, COP26 was sort of disappointing on the policy front. It went a little way, but it didn't get us locked into 1.5 degrees C. And as humans, as society, we all need to care about that. And let's not wait for the politicians. Let's not wait for government to tell us what to do. We know what we need to do. And I do see a huge amount of encouraging signs from COP26 that actually industry gets it, commerce gets it. You know, I've had conversations with facilities managers, with infrastructure investors, with big companies. They all get it and they're working on it. We'll outpace the politicians, we'll outpace government. Let's do it. Let's do it as an industry, and let's use Glasgow as an accelerating springboard to go forwards and deliver a society that's got a just transition baked into it.